Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir. Now, I know a lot of people have done videos on this lately, and there's been a lot of talk about this. Rotten Tomatoes has changed their website. Um, Here we have the Captain Marvel movie, and a lot of people are claiming that they're doing this to save Captain Marvel. And you think I'm making that up? No, no, I am not. They're literally saying that. Now you notice that they've taken away the option to say that you're not interested in the movie. Now just a little bit, oh come on, really Butters? um, Now just a little bit under the main heading. As you know, the movie is not out for what, another week and a half. So there's no reviews or ratings. They've just changed it to want to see. They've taken out the do not want to see. Do not want. The reason, of course, is that the system has been broken. And here, let me do a Wayback Machine here. Let's go to archive.org. This was just a couple days ago. The want to see was down to 44%. So many people had clicked that they were not interested versus the want to see. They've taken away these options. They now only have the want to see. And most importantly, they've taken away the comments, which I think is a good thing. Um, because, it's do you really need to say why you want to see it? Maybe you do. I'll be honest. I haven't talked about Captain Marvel. Maybe I've mentioned it in passing, as far as the movie. Um, I'm going to see it opening weekend, but it's only because I want to see how it ties into Infinity War. Um, the trailers, I mean, the last one was okay, but the previous trailers were kind of bad. They weren't that good. Some of the special effects looked kind of goofy. Um, I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to the real Captain Marvel movie, the Shazam movie. And no, it's not because, he's a guy. It's because he was Captain Marvel first. You know, um, Back when Fawcett owned the character and then DC picked him up. And there was the whole saying, I'm not even going to go into the legal details about how Marvel and DC both had Captain Marvels, but DC couldn't actually have a comic named Captain Marvel, but they could have a character, which led to books like The Power of Shazam. I'm not going to go into all that, but to me, Shazam will always be Captain Marvel, and because I just don't understand how he introduces himself to people, but anyway, that movie looks interesting to me. Like the convenience store scene, with the robbery, that looks fun. It looks fun and entertaining. The Brie Larson has not. There's been a lot of comments about how she hasn't been emoting. It's gotten a little bit better in the last trailer, but overall the movie just looks kind of eh. And I say that as someone, I didn't really like the first two Avengers movies. I thought they were also eh, but the Infinity War was awesome. And Doctor Strange, seeing that in the theater, awesome. Um, I haven't watched that on a small screen, but in the theater, it just looked fantastic. And maybe Captain Marvel will be better than we're expecting. I'm not really expecting too much of it to be quite truthful. Um, a couple hours, in the theater. Um, but I digress, because I haven't touched upon how I feel about Captain Marvel, and I'm going to catch the matinee. I'm going to see it Sunday morning. I'll take my son to it and spend $5 a ticket like I did with Last Jedi. Um, but back to the whole point at hand, because there is something that I don't think I've seen anyone mention on why this is a good thing. Now, first off, Rotten Tomatoes, this has been a problem they've had with the site. And a lot of people are trying to say that's because of Captain Marvel, and that's why they took it away, to fight all the trolls and harassment. No, this has been a problem with the site for some time. There have been tons of movies that have gone through this, and really, do you really need to say anything? No one's seen the movie yet. Well, okay, some people have, test audiences, but the general public has not seen the movie, and some critics have seen it, and we've all seen how those scores have gone. But then again, a lot of the critics hated Venom. I loved Venom. I thought that movie was fun. But let's take a look. I'm gonna go to Geek.com. Rotten Tomato changes audience rating systems after Captain Marvel troll attacks. Now, yes, there have been some people who said, kind of crappy things, I'll be honest, but remember, this was a not interested button. There are a lot of people who just aren't interested in seeing it. If it wasn't for Infinity War, I'd probably sit this one out myself. Um, and they talk in here about how Monday, Rotten Tomatoes announced the new audience ratings in a blog post. They talk a little bit about that. And so, yeah, they bring up some of this stuff. And Polygon noted that there have been multiple review bombing efforts and audience ratings of Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and other sci-fi flicks on the website. Okay, yeah. I mean, surely no one will say it's those Russian trolls, right? Oh yeah, remember I just talked about this issue. Yeah, Wired. Rotten Tomatoes revamp could save Captain Marvel. Remember I was just saying that? They are actually coming out and saying that it could save the movie. They've already cut the projected, earnings from the movie for opening weekend. And to be honest, I think the filmmakers overall, I'm betting the movie is not going to be, a super feminist or anything. I think it's really the marketing that and Brie that are screwing over this movie. I really think they're the cause of the audience backlash. Especially now hit the phone. Especially now when you have the trailer comes up and it just says her, then they add the A and the O. Am I the only one that reads that as like the rating AO, her, adults only? Am I the only one that reads it that way? Anyway, so Wired talks about some of the comments people have left. Terrible movie, hated already. Not interested in seeing another SJW propaganda film. And finally, this movie is destined to flop. I don't think it's going to flop. I think it's going to do okay. I think it's going to make a little bit of money. I don't think it's going to make as much as they were hoping because everyone seems to forget that Wonder Woman exists. And that movie was great. And remember the complaints about that? That movie got a lot of complaints. But it was from feminists because she had shaved armpits. Before the movie came out, they were bombing the movie because she had shaved armpits. The bombing goes both ways. So anyway, if you scroll down this article, they actually say here, I gotta find it here. Oh yeah, here it is. As well as the case of The Last Jedi, and to a lesser degree, the all-female Ghostbusters, the poor ratings seem to be driven by racist and or sexist motives from fans who don't appreciate diversity in their movies. Oh, and they might also have been fueled by Russian trolls. Yeah, the boogeyman. Russian trolls, it's the new boogeyman, right? Anything we don't like, anyone that may have a different opinion, they're Russian trolls. Come on, really? And this whole thing about, I don't use Rotten Tomatoes, but I would have left a bad score for The Last Jedi. Because that movie was bad. It really was. And, it's not because I hate diversity. I'll be honest, I really like Poe. Not Poe, Finn. I really love the concept of Finn. He is a stormtrooper who has joined the rebellion. Something we have never seen in a Star Wars movie. Darth Vader came back to the good side at the end of Return of the Jedi, but he didn't actively join the rebellion to fight, back against the First Order. And I know they're the Resistance now. Come on, 30-some years of calling it the rebellion. Give me a break. And yeah, at the beginning of the movie, I don't know how the First Order is tracking us. Did no one think that we have a stormtrooper in our ship? He could be bugged. Thought never occurred to anybody. This was at the beginning of the movie. And, he could have had one of the coolest arcs. But no, he does that stupid side trip. And again, I knew at that point, it's like, if they can't figure this out and no one has the idea, one line could have said, "Oh, we've checked Finn. He doesn't have a transmitter on him." No, never addressed. So yeah, the movie was stupid. That's why it was getting bombed. So yeah, and if you go to their actual Rotten Tomatoes actual blog post about it, they talk about how they're making changes and removing comments, removing the don't want to see thing. Yeah, they don't mention Captain Marvel. I don't think there's any type of conspiracy to save Captain Marvel on this. But I will say this is a good thing. Now, not just because I don't think comments are really needed, because people are going to say stupid things. Look at Amazon reviews. Oh God, remember when IMDb had comment pages? Oh, their discussion boards was always bad. Look at YouTube comments. I mean, come on. But this is a good thing. You know why? I'll show you why. If you look really closely, because they put it really small, how many want to see it? 18,202 users. You see, we actually get to see how many people want to see the movie, not just a percentage. And I'll be honest, I don't really use Rotten Tomatoes much, so I don't know if this user ratings, is the whole total. You could do the math at it and say, 44% of 22,000. Yeah, and it's really weird that suddenly now up to 18,000. Because this was, like I said, this is, I believe, the Sunday snapshot. And so just a couple days ago. So yeah, you're talking of less than 10,000 people. And suddenly now 18,000 people want to see it. But no, that's a good thing. Because if you're going to click on the want to see thing, you don't have to do any math. You see this, you have an accurate count of how many people are clicking on this and want to see the movie. So yeah, people are trying to say, I mean, look at this. Wired, Rotten Tomatoes revamp could save Captain Marvel. No, it's something that the website needed to fix for some time. People are always going to find ways to game the system. And yeah, some people just don't want to see the movie. Like I said, if it wasn't for Infinity War and the tie-in to see how this is going to work, I probably wouldn't see it. I just don't really have that much interest in it. So yeah, does that make me a Russian troll? Well, no, I don't actually go to Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, changes audience rating system after Captain Marvel troll attacks. This headline is almost true. They're saying that they're all troll attacks. Technically, yeah, they did change the rating system after Captain Marvel. Some troll attacks, lowered the score. But no, it's not implied. A does not imply B here. Okay, let's get back to our Aristotelian logic here. It's no. Anyway, I went on far longer than I wanted to. This is, like I said, this is overall a good thing. We don't really need the comments before the movie even opens, before anyone sees it. And yeah, so now we know that 18,000 people on Rotten Tomatoes want to see this movie. And is that a good thing? I don't think that's a really good thing for a movie that's just 2 weeks away. So, and next we'll be getting conspiracies on how they're inflating the numbers. So, anyway, stick around. I have another video coming up here very shortly. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this, but I don't think it's a conspiracy. I don't think it's related, but I do think this is a good thing that Rotten Tomatoes has changed. So, what do you think? Do you think they're connected? Do you think that I'm wrong on this? Feel free to let me know. As always, thanks for watching.